What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I'm here with my guy Scott, and we're going to talk about some Green Bay Packers and whatnot. But first, big shout out to Quick Trip. All right, Quick Trip right now is giving away freaking pontoon. Go on to Quick Trip, use your Quick Rewards app, and do the scratch off game, and you can win a pontoon. And also, check out this merch I just got. Got the Glazers hat. Check this out. Got the shirt and even got a Glazer holster.
You are in full dad mode right now.
This is Glazer holster, bro. Glazers on. Oh, you know what I mean? You can stack this thing up with Glazers. You're gonna have yourself a good time. You know what I mean? Check out
Always.
QuickTripMerch.com, and they got some fun stuff over there. I mean, they keep it creative. But what is up, Scott? How you doing?
I'm excellent. It's been a nice week so far, but happy to be back to chat it up.
Yeah, it's actually been a minute since I've done one of these. So I'm actually like this July, I think, after training camp starts getting underway. I think I'm gonna try to do like Monday through Friday, just be live. Try to get a schedule.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Not yet. There's not really a lot to talk about right now. I mean, everything just passed. But I want to talk about some stuff that I haven't talked about yet, and we'll have a good time. And people in the chat, be sure to hammer the comments, and we'll we can have a little conversation, add you in there a little bit. But if you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening, YouTube, over on the podcast, whatever. But let's get going. What is up, Philly boy? How you doing today? I got a few topics, and then we'll throw into like some other stuff. But I want to see.
Scroll down to see the. I have to scroll down to see the comments. I was like, now I can see it.
But before we do that, be sure that you're check out Between the Hashes. They're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It is Scott and his crew. Be sure to check it out. I dropped in last night.
I saw. We're taking a little bit of time off, probably till like middle of July, end of July, just because there's really nothing. And
yeah,
I don't want to leave people for stale content. Just make sure. So
breaks are good. Breaks are all right. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get to the first thing. I haven't really talked about that. I mean, I made some posts, but the whole I know that this is kind of like old news now. But Jordan Love wishing Bears fans Happy Father's Day, dude. I feel like people were like, when I first saw it, like I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a voiceover, like someone was just messing around or whatever. And then I was like, all right, whatever. And then it turns out he was just wishing. Someone said, hey, because he is in, I think it was France or something, and it was a different Bear. But either way, it was funny. Bears fans took it so far, though. Like, it was like, oh, he called him his daddy because like, dude, shut up. First of all, I say Happy Father's Day to everybody on social media. Hey, Happy Father's Day, everybody. Does that mean I think everyone's my dad?
No.
One of them, I don't know for sure. But but what do you think of this whole thing?
I think, like you said, it did get blown up. And then a lot of people were saying, like, you're not proven yet. You can't be calling us. Like, I'm like, it's just him wishing people a Happy Father's Day. It's just they need to say anything to stay relevant in the media. So Bears fans just
that is so much the thing. What is up, Alex? Thanks for stopping in. But that's the thing. Like with the Bears this offseason, I've never seen a more cocky 3-win team.
Yeah,
I actually even made a caption for that. But like I get it, like last year isn't this year. Like I would assume Justin Fields is gonna get better. Like guys are gonna get better, just like on the Packers side. Every team, players usually get better or they're out. But
exactly.
But the amount of cockiness coming out of the Bears, like your reign is over. you need to come to realization what's about to happen, like all this. It's like, dude, calm down, bro. Like 1-3, and I like the trash talk, so I'm not gonna say don't say it, but like just try to be
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like with the Bears and the Vikings, when they come at me, like they got nothing. Like the Vikings, although
Yeah.
well, you know whatever they say, they're not really saying much these days. I think they're in a rebuild and they're starting to figure that out. But
They've been in a rebuild since Fran Tarkenton.
yeah, it's like, but so who do you think is worse? I think we've had this conversation before, but Bears or Vikings fans? I think this offseason it's Bears fans, but overall, for me, Viking fans are the worst.
Yeah. Last year it was Vikings fans. This year it's Bears fans because the Vikings, they're being pretty quiet right now. So I think they learned. I think they listened to you a little bit.
Yeah, because they
So
used to be all over my comments, like skull, like whatever, and now
yeah.
they're gone. Bears fans.
Yeah, I don't choose skulls, so
So what do you think about the NFC North? Talking about that, I think the NFC North this season is very winnable, and pretty much
mhm.
I think for all teams. Like I wouldn't say the Bears. I don't know, but I think that
I'd watch
this division is
I'm
winnable.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'd watch out for the Lions this year, honestly. I'm not saying they're gonna, win every single game, but I feel like they have a really good shot to win the North of the other teams. Of course, you want the Packers to win it. Every year you want your team to always win it and go on and win the Super Bowl. Like every player in every interview you hear them say, we start off the year wanting to go to the Super Bowl, but I feel like the Lions they're clicking, and that coach Dan Campbell, it's a pretty good hire for them. So he'll be good there for a while. So
Yeah, I think that the Lions are probably the only team that seems to be on the upward trend. Like
mhm.
I don't like I don't some of the things that they did the offseason was kind of head scratching, but I think Campbell's a great coach. I think he's got his dudes fired up. I think the Lions are going to be like the team that all these guys are looking at. So like
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I didn't think that they're just going to blow out the division, but I think that they're in a better situation. But if the thing like with the Bears, if their offense can learn how to throw the ball, they could be, better.
Yeah.
Jordan Love pans out and everything. That the offense runs halfway smooth. I think the Packers could be one of those teams. But yeah, I think definitely the Lions have been doing good things lately. I don't know about this
I feel like
offseason.
they're more of a put together team than they have been in the most recent years. So whatever it is working. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think letting Jamal Williams go, I feel like they're just thinking like anybody can run this, anybody can run in these touchdowns because Jamal Williams, man, he was breaking records over there, and then there's like now we're good. I don't
Yeah,
really
like,
get that one, but I
you
get
weren't
it.
that good.
I don't think that he like probably wanted like a crap ton of money. I don't know what he was asking for or what they thought he would, but no. But
He seems
speaking
like
of that, kind of how this season's gonna go. The Packers will not finish in the bottom of the league. Like everyone's talking about the Packers have number one draft. I won't say everyone, but some morons on the internet. And I just don't I don't see that at all. That's not the Green Bay way. Like they're not gonna let that happen. I'm not saying that they're gonna I don't know how many wins they're gonna get, but they're not gonna be a 1, 2, 3 win team. That's ridiculous to think that.
no. I was talking about this the other day with a couple buddies. If the Packers don't win, I feel like the lowest amount of games they'll win this year. I mean, they're Jordan Love has been working with the offense, I guess, more in this, more than Rodgers did in the offseason. I feel like the lowest amount of wins, maybe they win 8 at the lowest. I could see at the highest maybe 10, 11 wins, but I don't see them. I don't see them being at the bottom of the league like a lot of people have been saying. So I just think they're just because you guys don't have Rodgers, you're done. No, I mean we took a step back, but it's not like we're at the bottom of the league now. So
Yeah, I don't see it. I think the defense is gonna play better. Defense, I feel like is gonna have more on their backs. Like that we don't know what the offense is gonna be.
mhm.
And if they do struggle a little bit, the defense is gonna be dependent on to like keep them in games. But I think that they have the defense to do that. I think one
Mhm.
key thing is Rashawn Gary. Hopefully he comes back earlier. I don't know like where he's at. They're obviously not gonna tell us too much, but
Yeah.
hopefully he's back earlier. I've heard other people say it might be 3-4 weeks. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone really knows yet. But either way, I think that this defense has the tools. to keep in games. They have great running back duo. If it, they have a lot of great young wide receiver talent, like guys that I think that there's probably going to be someone in this wide receiver group that's going to have a really good year that no one's really thinking about, or not many people are thinking about. So I think that this team, they're definitely not finishing at the bottom. I'm not saying that they're going to win 13 games or whatever, something crazy, but they're definitely not just going to be some bottom dwelling, just lose every week team. That there's no way that they prepare and let that happen.
I think, in my opinion, I think going back to what you were saying about one of the wide receivers that's really going to stand out, obviously Christian Watson. We all know that, but I feel like another thing it'd be between Romeo Dobbs and Samari Torrey. I hope to see them, light it up a little bit this year. Just a little bit more. Of course, I'm excited for all the rookie receivers we got. That I heard that they've been doing excellent, but I mean Romeo Dobbs and Samari Torrey, I think, are the two names that I would have. Not a real breakout year, but enough, get their names out there.
Yeah.
Thing. Like, oh, I'm noticing these guys now. Okay, well, we got to prepare more for not just Christian Watson. You got to prepare for all the other guys too. So,
yeah, like Phil's saying, just spread it around, and I think that's going to be the key to this, because I saw somewhere like Jordan Love said that they don't have like a true number one as far as like like a Devontae Adams type guy where everyone knows what they're throwing to him. But I actually think Christian Watson is going to be that guy. But I get what he's saying. Like defenses can't just lock in one guy because they're going to have other guys pop up. Like those rookies, I heard a few names. I haven't been locked in when they were practicing, but I heard a few names at wide receiver that kind of spark some interest. We'll see like what happens when they put pads on and then training camp, like who does it. But I think that they're going to spread the ball around. I think that they're going to be all right.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of film on all these guys, so it's going to be. I mean, it's not going to be not hard for other teams to really prepare for them, but it gives a little bit of an advantage because they don't really know what to really expect from these guys. Because they got, of course, we had Adams, and of course, we really got more film on Christian Watson, but I feel like they're going to try to get the running backs involved in the passing game a little bit more too, just because they have that youth at the wide receiver position. Because like I was reading, it said the average age for this team is like 23, 24. So it's not really an old team. And I feel like they've been in the bottom in the league in average age for the longest time. And they developed their players well. So I'm just very excited to see, because no Rodgers this year, but you just move on.
The thing I've been saying is like all these guys are kind of going to grow together. They're all young. It's a young offense. I feel like if they're all together 2-3 years, like they're going to click. Like this offense could be like a great offense in a couple years. Like we'll see what happens. All right, so let's go off a little bit of this year. But I was recently on the Bart Winkler podcast, and he asked me, who's on your Packers Mount Rushmore? And I think I felt like my answers kind of were stupid because I didn't really think about it. So I wanted to do it again and get like a redo. But
okay,
who would you have like at the top of your head? I was at the top of my head when I was on his show and I looked stupid. Maybe it looks stupid today. Who knows? Not bad, but
I mean, players and coaches, right? Did he really specify at all, or
anyone in Packers, in the world of Packers? So it's all players, and
I would go Favre, not in any real particular order, but I'd go Favre, Lombardi, Curly, and who else? Dang, this is.
I think there's only 4.
There's 4? Okay,
yeah. I had to ask him
Favre,
when he said it. I'm like, how many are on there? I don't really.
Yeah, Favre, Lombardi, Curly, and I would say Hudson. I feel like those would be the solid 4. I mean, there's so many you can pick, but
yeah, like I'm telling you, like I could make this list 10 times and it'd probably be different all 10 times.
Yeah,
but
because you could do Rodgers, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, and Ray Nitschke. It's just the names.
Yeah,
It's
there's
just
some
there's so
legends.
many.
I think first I would go like you say, no real order, but Curly Lambeau, which is a person that I missed when I was on Bart Winkler's show. I but he I think is obviously like the most important person in Packers history. Like he got the whole thing started. Uh,
Hmm.
Vince Lombardi got the real the legend of Green Bay going, and like the reason that it's still here because if they'd have sucked from the beginning, they'd have been gone. Like it wouldn't still
Yeah.
be. So who we got? Who did I say? Curly Lambeau, Lombardi. See, like I don't know. Like you can name anyone from the '90s. Like you could say Favre, but I think Bob Harlan. Bob Harlan, I feel like
Yeah,
got the
kind of help the team. Yeah.
current in the current era because like they were living in the past as far as like he got now they built up everything. People took it over, but he started
Hmm.
that whole thing. Who do I got? I say Curly, Lombardi, Bob Harlan, one more. I don't even know who I would say. Like maybe,
What about like Ron Wolf maybe?
yeah, I would say Ron Wolf or like Paul Hornung because Paul Hornung was a great player, but I don't think he really wanted to play for Green Bay at the time. And I don't know. Yeah, that 4 spot, you can give anyone. You could say
Yeah.
Favre, you could say Reggie, a lot Holmgren even really helped bring that because in that '96 Super Bowl, I think why it was so special because the Packers were a joke of the league forever. Like they were just an absolute joke. Nobody. It was like when I grew up, or not grew up, but like later on, it was like the Bengals and in Jacksonville. Like those teams that were just laughed at. And if they won a game, everyone just fired like the other team's coach. Like when you lose to them. That's how the Packers were. So I think Holmgren and that whole group, like you could grab anyone out of that group and say, you know, they're the one. But that 4 spot, I feel like you could put anywhere. But I think number 1 has to be Early. He's an
Yeah.
absolute yeah, and we got some comments over here. Jay Cutler, he really helped that defense stat line. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
that. I love that.
Sterling Sharp is huge. Sterling Sharp is a guy I talk about it a lot, but
Oh,
he
that's
should.
Lyle. That's one of my co-hosts on
Oh, there you
my
go. What is up, Lyle? How you doing?
What's Up Lyle. Nice. Fantasy Focus is his name on our show, but yeah, Lyle is his alter ego is Lyle. So
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. But yeah,
thanks,
Sterling
Lyle.
Sharp always like I argue with people all day about this, but he should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, well, he didn't play enough. Well, a lot of players didn't play enough, and they're in the Hall of Fame. Um, even his brother said that. But just imagine if Sharp didn't get hurt, like what that him and Favre coming up together, or he was already up, but Favre is young, and once Favre got a hang of it, if you'd have had Sharp a little bit
Oh
longer, man,
man.
Sharp would have absolutely destroyed a lot of records. But Phil's dropping in here. He says Curly, Hudson, Lombardi, City of Green Bay. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good Mount Rushmore. I didn't think of, the
Yeah,
city of
it's
Green
just the
Bay,
fact that
honestly.
the support that they've had in Green Bay. Like,
Yeah,
they
because
even had
if they had an owner, they'd be gone. I mean, they'll never get one, but if they had an owner, they'd move right out of Green Bay
yeah,
easily.
that's what I think it's funny and like it's few, but there are people who are like, if they had an owner, this would be like, no, it wouldn't be. They'd be gone. Like an owner, yeah.
Yeah,
I've had
we could
that.
also throw. Also, we could throw Mark Chmura in there
Bart Starr,
on the
definitely.
Bart Star for sure.
Bart
Mark
Starr is
Chmura, you
like,
obviously got to be a Chewy fan, super Chewy. So
yeah,
we
he's a
won't
little
go there, but yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, but Bart Starr could easily be that 4th guy. Like he was like especially back then, like quarterbacks, they didn't have the plays, yelled into their helmet. Like Bart Starr was like the first Packer legend. I feel like he's
Hmm.
an NFL icon. So like,
And Curl.
yeah,
I mean, I think I heard this at the Packers Hall of Fame. Weren't the Packers the first team to really start actually? Because before throwing the ball, it was just run the ball. Like
yeah.
I think the Packers originated or orchestrated the first like passing of the
I think
football.
I've heard that they were one of the teams that like really started doing it consistently. I don't know if they were the first or who was the first. I should have my history guy come on with me one time and talk about
You
that.
should.
PackersHistory.com. They do great work. But
They do. Perfect.
let's see your chip.
Where are the Vikings fans? I mean, let's see
This
your
is
chip.
why I got that faraway version. Yeah,
I
but
didn't want to bring it up.
chip. If anyone is a dentist, let me know. I'm having a hard time getting in. I'm gonna get it fixed quick. But yeah, it is what it is,
Tooth.
That was not my highlight of my life, that's for sure.
It's better
Well,
than knocking multiple teeth out and looking
yeah.
like having
It
no
it it
teeth.
don't look
Ooh.
horrible, but it's just not I don't like it. Look a little meth headish, you know what I mean? But,
I hear the little lisp when you talk, little lisp. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding. I know.
I do have a little something going on there. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do wanna mention for everyone, if you are a subscriber on Facebook, you will have the opportunity to, be on a live with me. Like, I'm gonna bring people on, and there's, like, a private group that you get to be a part of, and I think, the same thing if you're a subscriber anywhere, if you're yeah, I don't know, Instagram has a thing, Twitter has a thing, whatever, but, anyone who's a subscriber gets a chance, and I'm probably gonna just throw random people on anyways too, people who wanna be a part of it, and then we'll just do random lives, 'cause I'm gonna do a lot more of these coming up, and, I think it's
Especially a really random live burning log in the back. I just figured it would just set the pace.
yeah,
I
you have,
don't.
like, a floating fireplace in your house, is that what's going on over there?
Yeah,
Just
I
it
just thought it'd be funny, but I go not really. It's kind of
no,
warm. My
it's
back's
good.
a little warm, so
It is very good. So,
it adds the ambiance. It
yeah.
has a crackle. It has a crackling effect, but
Yeah,
I turned it down.
yeah, you alright,
Okay, there we go.
I think
All
that's all I really got. So, what else you got, Scott? You got anything?
right. Few reasons why the Packers won't be. I think we talked about being
Yeah, we
last in the league. We already did that.
yeah, we did that.
Um, I just maybe some of the things that we're going to be doing this
Oh,
off
yeah,
season. This off season.
yeah. So, coming up this season, me and Scott are gonna be doing some content together. He lives right down by Green Bay. We're gonna have a little people park in your yard. You're it's just like a Walmart parking lot on game day over there.
Pretty
So, but
much, just people just don't live there.
I wanna do a thing where, like, I interview people walking by, going to the game, like, interact with people, do some interviews, and, kinda show what it's like to being a car parker, you know what I mean? I don't wanna be involved, like
It is.
I don't wanna be one of those guys, like, anyone sees my eyes and I'm doing this, "Hey, back," like, "No, dude, alright, like, we get somebody else, and I need a sub." Just 'cause
Everybody's at angles, just
I
like
don't even know what they're looking at, but, yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
there's a
We
lot that goes into it. Honestly, Mike, my neighbor, everybody here is just like my neighbor's got this system. It's just like your mindset once you start parking. And once all the cars are just flying in and you're trying to get money and pay people and make change and people are trying to sneak around and not pay, I'm like,
it's
there's
wild.
times where people, I'm like, really? You
I
can go park at the stadium for like $50 more than what I'm charging you. So
Yeah, I don't I've never I've only paid to park a couple times. Usually, I know the streets that,
mhm.
I mean, I usually get there early too, so I just park at a certain spot. But, I there's a few times, and it is chaotic. 'Cause I remember one time we parked, and then the guy comes running out of the house like, "No, no, you're doing it wrong." Gotta get as many cars as you can, and his, like,
Yeah,
son or whatever was trying to and he's like we're like, "We don't know." But, yeah, it's wild. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do some, pregame show stuff. We're gonna have a good time. I wanna get back, like, especially training camp too, I wanna do it. Go around, like, interview random fans, just try to get some content, talk to cool people. People,
yeah, for sure.
especially training camp is so fun. People come from, like,
Mhm.
everywhere. It's just so wild. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
vacation for that.
yeah, me too. Definitely. And I wish you could fly. I wish you could fly drones around the area, but just because of being where it is, there's like a no fly area for drones, so
Yeah,
you're gonna
I
get like a
kinda get
sweet.
that. I kinda get
I do,
that.
yeah,
People could
yeah.
just start dropping stuff on people, like, I don't know. Or someone like me could be controlling it. You're just walking through having a good time, and someone crashed a drone into your freaking forehead. Don't need that,
That'd be,
you know what I mean?
and then they look and they just see your face on it. They're like, "Oh, okay, this is why. This is why."
Yeah, yeah, no one would be
So
surprised, like, this guy sh I bought my son a drone, one time. I don't think it lasts very long. We just smashed into the house, and that was that.
yeah, it's just.
It's
But
like,
yeah,
"Well."
it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be getting a lot of stuff this off season and into this season too. So be on the lookout for all the fun stuff.
All good content. This chip too has kinda slowed me down because I don't like making videos with it, but I'm gonna. I'm not just gonna stop, and I'm gonna try to get this thing fixed though. I do
Can't
not,
stop, won't stop.
you know what I mean?
Just
But,
go to the party store and get those Dracula ones
yeah,
that
I
like cover
should.
your teeth. Yeah, you're fine.
It's not that bad, just like I don't know, it just looks a little bit, okay,
Looks like you got in a bar fight.
let's
Give
get
me
one
that.
more in here from Lyle. He says, favorite Packer for this season. And actually, that was something I was gonna talk about too. It's just like who's the guy that you think is just gonna be something special this year? Obviously, Jordan Love is gonna be very important if he's successful. The offense is successful. I mean, that's just obvious. But who else you got?
I would say maybe Eric Stokes. I'm excited to see him come back off his injury. I feel like he needs to have a light up year this year. So I'm excited for Eric Stokes. I feel like that's probably in my opinion, I'd say Eric Stokes.
Yeah, he's the guy I haven't really thought about in a while. But
I mean, obviously now we don't have Adrian Amos because he joined the New York Packers.
yeah,
So we don't have him. But also Bakhtiari's going to be healthy too.
yeah, I think Bakhtiari is going to be huge. Like if he if that thing's all good now, good to go, that'll be huge, especially for a young quarterback. But I'm gonna say right here, Watson, dude. I think I made a post about that. I said Christian Watson is going to be a superstar. Some people like argued me about it. I was like, why would you think he's not going to be? Like yeah, he had an injury, but at the end of the season, his stat line is as good as any wide receiver in the league. Like saying he's gonna be the best wide receiver in the league this year, but I think that he's gonna take a big jump. The thing about it is he plays with speed. He's so fast. He's faster than everybody else. So once he's in that offense and he knows exactly what he's gonna do, and he don't have to really think too much, he just knows what it is, then he's gonna just play faster yet. Like I think the sky's the limit. I saw that post someone said comparing him to Justin Jefferson or whatever. I get it. I think that's funny. But I forget exactly.
I mean, he had better numbers than Justin Jefferson did towards the end of the season.
Yeah, but
if Christian Watson had played like he did towards the end of the season and he didn't get hurt like at the beginning of the year, I feel like he'd have won Rookie of the Year honestly over Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think I think Christian Watson is going to be special. I think and he's going to help Jordan Love. Jordan Love is going to help him. As one goes, they both go. So they both have to be on. You know what I mean? Not that I'm like breaking news there. Like that's my great analytics. If your quarterback's good, you'll be better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and right here, it's going to be. Danielle says it's going to be a big year for our running backs. Yeah, I think absolutely, dude. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, I think is going to get more touches. I definitely think that they're going to work more in the running game and I think passing to the running back because I think it's easier, especially like just getting rhythm. I think it's kind of easy dump offs.
I feel like they're going to make it. I don't think you'll see a lot of huge down the field bombs from Jordan Love. I mean, maybe towards once he gets comfortable, but I feel like you'll see a lot of dump offs and short passes, but just to get acclimated, and then once he starts clicking.
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to see a lot more of like Rodgers. He kind of would sling that thing on 3rd and 1 or like a 35-yard pass. I don't think you'll really see a lot of that. I think the offense will be more in rhythm. It's going to be like more, kind of like strategy. Like I feel like Rodgers would just switch things up, and because he could and he had control of the offense. But I think Jordan Love, like they're going to try to stay within the offense a little bit.
I heard this earlier today. Somebody was like, "Do you think the Packers are rebuilding?" I said, there's always once you go from a Hall of Fame quarterback to someone who's not a Hall of Fame quarterback, I don't think it's really generally rebuilding. I would say it's more of like regrouping than rebuilding.
I totally agree. A rebuild to me, like Ryan Schlip, I had him on, and we were talking about this. A rebuild is like you tear the whole thing down and start over. Like you're
coaching staff to everything. Coaching staff down is just
like you're cutting players you don't want to cut because they got contracts. Like they just switched quarterbacks. So like I don't even know what the phrase would be because like it depends what your definition of rebuild is. You know what I mean? I've had this argument with a bunch of people. But
big shout out to Brett Gardner. He's a friend from back home. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
There you go. Awesome. Great comment too. But yeah, I think that I think the Packers could be a team. I'm not. I'll probably make predictions like later on, but like they don't mean nothing. I had some guy commented on it, like no point in talking about it in the summer. I was like, dude, we're allowed to talk about football in the summer, bro. Like, calm down. Like,
yeah, relax.
I hear that
probably a Vikings fan.
I'll make a post and they'll be like, it doesn't matter. It's summertime. I'm like, then go outside, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, watch the show outside. Just go outside. Just
Yeah. Go touch some grass, as they say. What is up, Ron? Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. Be sure to subscribe. And if you're not subscribed to the podcast, I'm on Apple, Spotify, all the places that people listen to podcasts, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and all the places. You can visit themattramage.com to find all the links to all the places. Big shout out to Scott joining me tonight.
Always fun.
We got this funky music. All right, peace
out.
A
little different vibe.
It is. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Much love. Go Pack, go.